The Ukrainian defense forces have broken through a new section of the Russian border in Kursk Region, west of the controlled territories. Information about this appeared on September 13th. The Russian Defense Ministry said at the time the Ukrainian attack had been repelled. However, the footage published by Ukrainian UAV operators shows the opposite. The drone crew Horn of the 116th Separate Mechanized Brigade of Ukrainian Ground Forces says that this footage shows Ukrainian military personnel and its equipment moving towards the village of Veseloye. The operation began shortly after Russian troops counterattacked Ukrainian positions in Kursk Region.
The Ukrainian troops are turning towards the main Kursk salient. If the Ukrainians attacking northeast from Novy Put can connect with the Ukrainians in the main salient, they'll cut off potentially thousands of Russians between them and the border, from Forbes publication.
At first, the operation near Veseloye seemed like a short assault, but it turned into something much more dangerous for Russia, the publication says.
At the moment, the Russian army finds itself in a rather double-sided situation. On the one hand, it is trying to attack the Ukrainian defense forces bridgehead in the Kursk region. On the other hand, some of its assault units may find themselves in an operational encirclement, because, as military science determines, the Ukrainian army is acting in a rather unconventional and quite atypical manner.
Russia has deployed 60,000 troops to Kursk region, President Zelensky said in early September. Sooner or later, Russia will be able to strike to try to dislodge the Ukrainian defense forces from Kursk region, military analysts believe. But to do so, it will have to transfer significantly more well-trained and equipped units from the territories of Ukraine temporarily occupied by the Russian army.
They have not bothered to carry out the appropriate procedures for combat alignment. In other words, such diverse mixed forces, which do not understand each other very well, are consequently unable to support each other appropriately and can hardly be a serious strike force and grouping.
The army of the aggressor country continues to strike Russian-populated areas, including residential houses and even educational institutions. Ukrainian military personnel are providing assistance to the citizens. They are bringing food and medical supplies and have also restored the water supply in Sudzha.
Taking into account the humanitarian situation and the need to properly safeguard fundamental human rights on the territory of Kursk region, the Ukrainian Ministry of Foreign Affairs called on the United Nations to join the humanitarian response measures on its territory and sent a note to the UN. The Foreign Ministry also appealed to the International Committee of the Red Cross as a guarantor of international humanitarian law, from a statement on the website of the Ukrainian Foreign Ministry.
The Kremlin has already reacted to this appeal by Ukraine to UN and the International Committee of the Red Cross. Putin's spokesman Peskov called it, quote, a pure kind of provocation. This reaction of the Kremlin shows Russia's disregard for its own people and the humanitarian needs. Ukrainian Foreign Ministry speaker Georgy Tikhy said, according to him, Russia does not want representatives of international organizations to see the real situation in the region. Reported by Anastasia Tarnavska, Valeria Nekopelova, UATV News.